Hey there, internet, how's it going? Kill la Kill this week was the finale episode of the entire show, and or for what this season was, and or at least for the ending of season 2, which pretty much I would honestly kind of like to see a season 3 of it, because how they did kind of leave this episode off, it is something to be desired that there could possibly be a season 3 or possibly even more, or maybe even like a few spin-off shows going with this show. So there is that. And I did kind of have to say that early, because I had to say that so that I don't necessarily forget. However, getting into the meat of this episode, it is just as it kind of is. It is just a conclusion of the episode of everything which kind of happened in the last episode, in a sense that every single final precaution of what Ragyo could do to, or at least every time they stopped one of her plans or stopped her from doing a certain thing, she had a backup plan to stop it. Stop the satellite. They stopped the Hanoji satellite feed. She flies up into the air and and uses the thing herself. They honestly try and destroy her entire life fiber suit, which Nui made. Nui becomes the brand new life fiber suit. It's kind of this entire thing of just saying gains all these brand. She has a precaution set up for basically everything which that they did, which is something that I do honestly like about my villains. Is the fact that it's always nice to see a good villain who always plans ahead, rather than just, I had this one plan, they kind of foiled it, and I have nothing else. I kind of always like that about the specific villains, or at least, or at the very least, the smart villain who knows that honestly, if this thing goes down, I have to have a backup plan. So it's nice to have that. And as this episode kind of comes to a close, it kind of hits full on Dragon Ball Z moments, in which that every character who does have a life fiber suit has to give their power or give all their fibers to Senketsu, just so that he could power up and turn into this super suit to fly up into the air and go and fight Ragyo. Now, honestly, I'm kind of skipping over a lot of stuff here, such as the whole moment in between in which that Ragyo has the super mode of just deactivating everybody's life fibers, because that is her suit's super ability, which is that if anybody tries to, or at least any or if any life fibers try to oppose her, they will quell in fear and they lose their power. Which that is a thing all the way until, and I believe it even stops humans, because they can't really do anything against her at that point. Whereas as it kind of goes on, it's like Senketsu and Ryuko are pretty much kind of immune to that, because as they constantly keep telling in this entire episode, that they're not exactly human and they're not exactly clothing. There's something in between. In other words, they're a mixture of the two. So you really can't stop them. And that's kind of what led to Ragyo's downfall, her getting attacked, and leading into all that stuff I said previously of them fighting up in the stratosphere, trying to end Ryuko in her Super Saiyan mode, which honestly, she is a Super Saiyan because she has yellow hair. Senketsu has an orange aura, and she kind of has these super abilities to practically just destroy everything that comes her way. She even has the Saiyan ability of saying that, well, now it's a bit twisted, but it's like the closer you are to death, the stronger you become, which is honestly the thing there. It's like, you just made her a Saiyan. She's just a Saiyan now. Which something that I don't have a problem against, but that's kind of how it is. And honestly, it does kind of have a little quaint moment of after everything's said and done, because we knew that Ryuko was going to win. We do kind of have this little moment of her honestly trying to go back and try and tell her mother, which that she accepts her as her mother, and she doesn't want her to die. She just wants her to come back and just be a family again. Which that her mother kind of just snatches her heart out, destroys it, and says that, yeah, life fibers can come back here any day now. So yeah, keep an eye out for that, and then she kills herself. This episode really did have a lot of stuff going with it, especially with what they had previously in the, like earlier in the episode with the possible death of Gamagori, but they kind of threw that away, and as it did kind of make everybody fight a little bit harder, they kind of just said, yeah, no, he's not dead, bring him back and have him fight some more. So that's kind of what happened there. And as this ended, it ended on a high note of just, you know, Ryuko, Mako, and practically everybody else. Well, when Ryuko, Mako, Satsuki, and the Elite Four, all of them going out on a hangout date. That's pretty much what they did. You know, they just went on a hangout date to just go, yeah, man, let's go and get us some brand new clothes and everything. However, it did kind of raise one specific question for me. If the life fibers, if all the life fibers are gone and every single piece of clothing on the planet was a life fiber suit or something of that nature, you really got to ask a question. What happened to all of the original clothes? Does this mean that, like, right after everybody kind of just survived their meteor fall drop from the stratosphere down to Earth? Is that the thing which pretty much so they all just kind of just went all so everybody just kind of just made a mad dash for the Salvation Army and for the used stores and all of the thrift shops and kind of just bought up all of the used clothes that they just threw away. I was like, I really kind of questioned that. But honestly, there were a lot more questionable things in there, such as the fall from the stratosphere, which killed Senketsu, but it didn't kill Ryuko. However, I think Senketsu died because of other reasons. And pretty much, yeah, this entire episode pretty much just solidifies the idea that this show is all about, its underlying meaning is about family. It's not about love. It's not about you trying to be a relationship. It's not about any of that. It's just about family. And honestly, the clothing thing is just the undertone for it. So pretty much, you know, I kind of get it because as soon as Ryuko lands and everybody catches her, or at least Sasuke going on to catch her first, it was the whole thing of her actually being able to acknowledge her as her sister. It's even the same thing as just before Ragyo died, she could actually accept her as her mother. So there was that. And honestly, I'm not really going to keep this up because seriously, I plan on making a for all of these series in which that I'm talking about. I'm planning on making a series video, or at least like a end of the season video. Possibly making that a collaboration video. So possibly I do plan on making that within the coming weeks. So hey, keep an eye out for that, and I'll catch you guys on the next John Grave show. So please keep watching anime, keep playing video games, and tell me what you think of this episode down there in the comment section. I'll catch you next time. Hey there, Internet. If you like this video, please check out this book right here. If you like anime and you like all this good stuff, go ahead and pick up this little book right here. It's called Mizuki Dragon Word. Sorry about that glare. And you can go ahead and pick it up on Amazon for a few lousy pennies. I'll put a link down there in the description. I'll catch you on the next John Grave show. So please keep watching anime, keep playing video games. I'm out. Have a good one.